Greetings, I'm Barrett, and welcome to Meet Me at the Table. Today we're going to start a new playthrough, and it's going to take place in 1907 on the Seventh Continent. That's right, we're going to start The Seventh Continent by Serious Poulp. This is the game that was kickstarted back in October of 2015, and that's when I backed it. I grabbed all the bells and whistles. I grabbed the expansions, I grabbed the cartographer book, the dice, you name it, everything. I kind of went all in on this one. I got it in the mail, so excited. Sleeved the whole game, and then I put it on my shelf. And it's kind of been sitting there for a long time. I haven't pulled it off the shelf because the gaming group I play with, we try to play games together before we play it by ourselves or with anybody else, just so we all can experience the game for the first time together. And we haven't gotten to this one. Finally, they came to me just recently and said, I know you've had the Seventh Continent. We're not that interested. And I said, well, I'm interested in it. I'm interested in it a lot. So I'm going to play it, and that's okay. They're fine with it. I'm really excited to play this. I'm so excited I haven't watched any playthroughs. I haven't watched any spoiler videos. I'd like to experience this for my first time for myself. And I know there's playthroughs out there, and you've probably seen some of them. If not, I hope this is a first-time playthrough for you. I might make some mistakes. Please forgive me and bear with me, but please help me out in the comments if you see that I have made a mistake. Or if you have any ideas, suggestions of what we should do in the game itself, that would be great to know as well. A little hints here and there, don't spoil too much. That's the way it goes. Hints are hints, right? It's kind of like a hint book. It doesn't tell you the end, it just kind of gives you a hint. That being said, we're going to do this game over kind of probably some longer playthroughs in between, just little snippets here and there, unless the community really wants me to continue playing it, I will. We're going to do a quick setup video, and then we're going to get to the game. The reason I'm doing and breaking it up is I've heard this game's kind of long. I've heard it's hard. I'm hoping I can get through the first quest without failing. I don't give myself much hope, though I should probably give myself some hope. Otherwise, why would I even try? So that being said, let's get to the setup video. Why don't you grab a beverage and meet me at the table. Okay, on to the setup video. I'm sorry if the camera's a little shaky. I'm just going to hold it while I go through all the different parts so we can get this done really fast and get to the game. Now, as I start recording this, Serious Poulp has just sent out a Kickstarter notice saying that they have started Wave 1 shipping of the second printing of this game. Everything you see here, unless I tell you otherwise, can be found inside the base game. We'll start with the rule book. We have the rule book right here. It's a really well done rule book. It explains a lot of things. It does have a little intro story. We're going to go through that at the beginning of the game. I'll read that. Up here is a little code. You can click on or use that code. It'll send you to their website that has a learn to play video. I've watched this. It's a really good learn to play video. That way, if you are kind of struggling with some of the rules, you can find hopefully your answers there. But this rule book then, of course, will go through and tell you what each of the cards are, how to do all the cards, and I'll kind of do all this as you go because it seems like a kind of learning on the go thing when it comes to this game. So we're going to go with that for the rule book. Now there's a lot of other things that are going on here. This is a reference card. This reference card will show you all the different things that you can do during your turn. For example, you can move, you can swim, sail, spot, observe, and you're going to see all these icons on cards throughout the game, and this will tell you kind of what action you have to do to perform. And there might be other cards that help in certain actions or characters that might be designed to use these kind of skills. There's also resources over here, and it also goes through an action consequence stage here. Again, a lot of this will be explained while we play the game. This backside just kind of goes through turn sequences, what the different actions on the cards will mean, the colors and so forth, what exactly all this means. And again, here's another action resolution. I'll again go through all this while we play. It's just a lot easier, I think, to see it in action. We have a discard pile holder thinger here. That's going to hold our discarded cards. We have these two things. One is the past and one is banished. Now the past is any cards that you just kind of are done with during the game. They just go into the past. There are cards that I believe will just say banish this card. In that case, it's going to go here and you're never going to see it again. But cards from the past may return if you save the game, which is a really neat feature. They have a great save feature where apparently you kind of bundle up all the cards into a certain pile, you stick them into the box, and then when you're ready to play again, you take that box out and you can just put everything back down, including the one card you're starting on. And then everything else just evolves around it again. That sometimes means you're doing things again, from what I'm guessing, but I think it'll be pretty cool. I haven't tried it, and we'll see how it goes. I'm excited. It'll be good. This right here that I've touched 100 times is a magnifying glass. It comes in the game. It allows you to take a better look at some of the cards that you're going to see, and you can investigate the card better, see the art. It'll be pretty neat. These right here, this and this is all part of the weather expansion. And yes, I've added all the expansions that I own to the game. So as we play, you're going to see all these expansions and hopefully experience them. It'll be a lot of fun. I hope I didn't ramp the difficulty up a ton just by adding these expansions, but we'll see. So these are the different weather effects, and then they come with these bases. And to prevent you from having the base interfere with the card that it's on, I just keep using this as an example, you have these little stands in here. And then you take the stand, you put it on the card, and then the weather thing sits above the card. That way it doesn't interfere with the card itself, so you can still see what's on the card and experience it. Now we have our action deck. This is kind of the main deal of the game. This is your life force, is kind of how they describe it. When this runs out, there's a chance that you'll fail the game. If all the cards end up in the discard pile, you're going to, and then you have to reshuffle this and draw from the discard pile. If at any time you draw a curse from that shuffled discard pile, you'll lose the game. So speaking of curses, we do have the Veracious Goddess curse, which it recommends being your first curse. We're going to do this one. It has some text on it, and it also gives you a clue on the back. And this little icon here means that it's going to go in your satchel. So your satchel is here. What the satchel tells us is that I should get it off the glaring light. The satchel will tell you how many cards each player can have and how many things you can craft based on the number of players. We're going to play with 2 people, so each of our guys can have 3 cards in hand that are green, 3 that are blue, and can build items that apparently can have up to 3 things attached to them. So that sounds pretty cool. Again, we keep on moving around. We've got these dice that aren't going to focus for me. They're right here. These came as a Kickstarter option. They're supposed to kind of look like bones. They're kind of cool. Now, you're never going to roll dice in the game. These dice, well, maybe you will. I don't know. I'm guessing so far all I've ever seen from the instructional video is that these are used to denote how much of an item you have left. But who knows? Maybe you'll roll a dice somewhere along the line. These are the dice it comes with. These are way more fun. These not as fun. More thematic, not thematic. We're going to go with fun and thematic. That's the plan. Back here, this is the other heart of the game. This is your thousands and thousands of cards that are going to create your story as you go through the 7th continent. Hopefully ending in good. Could end in bad. Now the thing over here we have is the cartographer book. This cartography book is, I guess, something you can use to draw like what certain cards look like or where maybe a card links to another one. So you have it in, as a future reference. If you ever have to save your game and go back, you can use this. The rest of the figures we have here, these are some of the character figures. I'm sorry, none of this is painted. I really feel bad. I know I'm a terrible man. I don't have this stuff painted. I normally do playthroughs with painted miniatures, though I sadly did not get a chance to paint these yet. And I just am so excited to play this game, I didn't actually get it to the painting station. That guy's not going to focus. He apparently, this is Frankenstein. Apparently Frankenstein hates me. He doesn't want to focus or anything. Okay, whatever. So yes, those are guys. Here's some fire. Each character comes with a fire token, and then as you play the game, you can create fire and that kind of is a little base camp type concept, I think. We'll see how that goes. These are little rock monster dudes. They're an expansion that you could buy. I backed this expansion along with it, so this is also, we're going to be playing with this in the game itself. So again, more newer stuff in there. I'm not playing with just the base game alone. I am playing with the Crawler, or I guess Crawler's Rock Dude expansion, the Weather expansion. So we'll see how that goes. This little bag can hold stuff if you wanted to. Let's see here. What else do we have to show you? We have our characters that we're going to be using. We're going to be using Elliot Pendleton. Again, I call him Captain Glare on the card. Elliot Pendleton here, he's going to be one of our characters, and Mary Kingsley is going to be the other character. They have their miniature here. And then each character you choose does come with 5 cards. Now these 5 cards then go into the action deck up here. So as you play, these are going to be in there as well. So it kind of makes it a larger life force, but also these cards are significant and special to the character itself. These are going to be Elliot Pendleton's cards. They're going to be in there as well inside this deck. So as we go through it, we'll pick up some of these cards too, and they work just the same as other cards in that deck, except they're specific to this actual character. So when they make checks, only they can have that card when it's all said and done. Let's see, what else do I have to show you? That's really about it. So now, when we go to play, this stuff's all just going to move to the side, and the game is actually just going to be played in the middle here, kind of right where this big glary card is. So I'm going to move that glary card because that's annoying. And so as we play, we're just going to create the world around us, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think that's all I got. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. I really appreciate you watching this quick setup video. Let's go play the 7th Continent. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Like and subscribe, and I want you to meet me at the table. From here on out, I will be spoiling the game. The game can't be played without spoiling. So if, just a heads up, the setup video is done. We're going to start the game. If you want to continue to watch, I would really enjoy it. I haven't watched any spoiler videos because I wanted this all to be fresh. And if you're the same way, I totally would understand. But if you want to join us on this expedition to the 7th Continent, here we go.